I'm April Emerson with TeacherApril.com, and on this channel you will find videos all about speech and language therapy, teaching ESL online, and how to get it all done with the checklist. I have so many students right now that are at home that are not able to come to school and have their speech therapy services, that I thought I would share just a little bit of some ideas of things that you can do at home. So I made a list of some language activities that are super easy just to incorporate into your daily activities that you're doing with your own children, and hope that you can take some of that pressure off of, oh, my child's going to lose anything that they've learned from therapy, what can I do? You're already doing everything you can. It's a lot. So let me give you a couple ideas of things that you can just, sometimes it's just saying a little extra thing or asking that little extra question. So one thing that you can do is to work on sorting into categories. Now that can either be putting out a bunch of words and having them, or objects and having them put them in different categories, or something that my family likes to do at dinner is to, one person will name the category, and then we'll popcorn around the table, and everybody has to name one thing in that category. So it might be animals you see at the zoo. One person says elephant, monkey, giraffe, and you just keep going until you can't think of one. And then that person chooses a new category. So categories could be fruits, vegetables, zoo animals, school supplies, vehicles, clothing, insects, sports, toys, furniture, colors, shapes, places, instruments, or maybe family members. And I'm sure there's a lot more that you can come up with, but there's a few to get you started. Another thing that really helps develop language is playing a game. So I'm sure you've got plenty of family games to play. Bring it out. Have your child tell you the instructions on how to play that game. Pretend like you have no idea how to play it, and ask them to tell you step by step how to do it. That's going to get them thinking about what's first, next, and then even how the game ends, so last. Helps with sequencing. Another thing, and this is something that my daughter loves to do, she loves to craft. She loves to create things. So one thing you can do with your kids is to just get a bunch of items, some crafting things, paper, scissors, ribbon, whatever, and just have them create something. Then when it's finished, ask them to not only tell you about what they created, but the process on how they put it together. Because again, it's helping with that sequencing, which is important when children are learning to retell a story. They have to keep in mind what happened first, next, then, and last. So following directions is one language objective that a lot of our students work on. And some of our lower level are just following one-step direction. Give me the ball. Give me the cat. But then as they get older, we're asking them to do multiple step directions. So find the blue ball and give it to your sister. Go get the forks and set them on the table. Those are some easy things that you can do. When you feel like your child can do two steps, add that third one. Go get the forks from the drawer and the spoons and put them on the table. Or put the spoons on the left and put the forks on the right, or whichever it is. Another way to practice following directions is to sit back to back. So either you can do this with your child, or if they have siblings, they can sit back to back. You have one person draw 5 simple shapes anywhere on the page, okay? And then that person tells the other person how to draw on their paper so that it looks exactly like theirs. So, for example, they might say, draw a circle in the middle of the paper. Draw 2 dots under the circle. So not only are we working on following directions, but now we're working on spatial concepts and prepositions. So when that person is finished, then they compare papers and do the pictures look the same? Hopefully they do. If not, then that's an area you can work on, either with the person who's describing what they wrote or the person who's listening. And then have them switch and have the other person be the instructor telling them. Like I said, this can be with a parent and a child, or it could be 2 children together. So I hope that's a couple of language enrichment activities that you can do with your family while we are at home together. So remember, you can do sorting with categories or naming things in categories, play a game, have your child explain the process, create something artistic and have your child explain how they did it, and play the game of sitting back to back and drawing art together. So I hope this gives you a couple of ideas.
And if you'd like more information on this topic, please reach out to me by email at heyteacherapril@gmail.com. Friends, you've got this, and remember, anything is possible with a checklist.